Hello, my name is Gregory Rogers, and today we'll be talking about cancer. Last year alone, cancer caused 580,000 deaths in the United States, which averages out to about 1,500 deaths a day. Nearly one half of all men and one-third of all women in the U.S. will develop some form of cancer during their lifetime. It affects millions of people not only in the U.S. but around the world. So it's important to know just some general knowledge about it because it is a very deadly disease, and if not treated early, in some cases can lead to death. Now, today we'll discuss basically what is cancer, what are some of the most common forms of cancer, what are some of the treatment options available for those who do have cancer, and what are some common misconceptions that a lot of people hold about cancer. We'll start off with what is cancer. Now, the National Institute of Cancer defines it as an abnormal cell that will continue to grow uncontrollably at a rapid pace. Now, this differs from a normal cell in that while a normal cell will grow at a rapid pace only when you're young, as you grow and mature, this division will slow down and eventually stop. It'll only start back up to replace dying or worn out cells. Now, another difference between cancer and a normal cell is that cancer can actually spread to other tissues around your body and lead to tumors. You want to know that not every tumor is cancer. These tumors are called benign tumors, and the difference is they can't continue to spread. They'll form in one part of your body and sit there, while a tumor formed by cancer can form and spread throughout your body. The next thing we're going to actually talk about today are what are some of the common forms of cancer. Now, in the U.S., the two most common forms are skin cancer and lung cancer. To start, skin cancer last year alone was diagnosed with nearly 2 million cases. Now, most skin cancers are curable, but they do lead the way of 75% of cancer deaths, the most deadly being melanoma. Next, we'll talk about lung cancer, the second most common. Last year alone, nearly 226,000 cases of lung cancer were diagnosed, but over the past 5 years, lung cancer has shown steady improvement with currently a 16% survival rate. Following this, we will talk about what are some of the treatment options that people have. The most common three are surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy. Now with surgery, this is when a person chooses to cut out the cancer and the surrounding tissue to prevent it from spreading. This usually happens before it gets a chance to spread. Next, most common is radiation, and this is when X-rays and particles are used to kill the cancer cell. And lastly is chemotherapy. Now, chemotherapy can be done in two ways. It can be taken through pills or it can be injected directly into your body. And this inhibits the cancer cell's abilities to continue to grow and will eventually kill it. Lastly, today we will talk about some of the common misconceptions that a lot of people hold about cancer. The most common being that cancer death rate continues to grow. And this is not true. Since the early 1990s, the death rate of cancer has continued to drop by 20%. The reason for this is that improvements in technology and early detection has led the way in improving this death rate from growing. The next most common misconception that a lot of people hold about cancer is that all treatments are the same, and this is not true. Each treatment is tailored to each patient depending on where the cancer is and how it's located and where it's located in your body. You wouldn't treat skin cancer the same exact way that you would treat lung cancer. A next common misconception that a lot of people hold about cancer is that cancer is hereditary and runs in your family. While cancer does tend to run in some people's family, cancer is not hereditary, and if it does run in your family, you should be checked for it because early detection is the key to curing it. And the last common misconception that we will talk about today is breast cancer. A lot of people believe that breast cancer can only be caught by women, and this is not true. In the United States last year, 2,000 men were diagnosed with breast cancer. The reason for this is that breast cancer forms in the tissues in your breast, which both men and women have. So both of us are able to get breast cancer. Today we discussed a lot, but most importantly, you want to remember what cancer is. Cancer is an uncontrollable cell growth. It can invade other parts of your body, and it affects millions of people every year. So it's very important to have general knowledge about it and being able to be checked, because you have to remember that early detection is the key to either curing it or being able to prevent it from spreading, even if it's not curable. My name is Gregory Rogers. I want to thank you for listening to my presentation.